For some reason, women think that they are like single moms now or something like that, or they are not, or their husband's not available 24 hours a day or something like that. To me, that's weird. All right, because I'm a husband 100% of the time to my wives. I'm a father 100% of the time to all my children. All right, so you have access to me no matter what.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
We're the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored.
Today's discussion is going to center around how we made it through the initial crash, if you will, of polygyny. That's what usually happens. Usually a crash is a big shift in dynamics of family and stuff like that. And really, how do you make it through? It's relatively simple for me, so I'm going to kind of just share with you, but I want Coach Fatimah to go first because the people that tend to have the most problem, understandably, tends to be the first wife with adjusting and stuff like that. So the initial wife, Coach Fatimah, shall speak.
I wanted Coach Nazir here, although I believe that this is really a video for the women, initial wives. I got to go over there to y'all. It's a rare occasion, and of course it happens to subsequent wives, but typically brothers have 2 wives. So this video is important, and I think that Coach Nazir needed to be here to give his end of what he did in response to how I felt. Now, one of the things that we did is that we had the same common goal of not disturbing our children, in that I didn't want to poison our children against their father. They got one, I chose to marry him, he chose to marry me back. And it wasn't my job to poison the mind of my then teenage daughters against their father. Now, they'd say, I don't like it, I don't like this, I don't like that. You don't have to necessarily like how it started, how it was going at the time. And I told them, you don't have to like how things began, but I want you to be respectful, okay? Because that's still their father. And that was important because I come from 2 parents that never married, that didn't make a commitment. So when I made this with Coach Nazir, I didn't want to poison the water, because once we do that, it's hard to get the poison out, isn't it? So he knows that. He knows that's important to him. And I think one of the things that you did that I love so much is that you actually spoke to our daughters individually, the teenage daughters, without me there. And because he did that, I was learning how to respect him on a different level from just being his wife and saying, this made me mad and I don't like that. And I feel like I need to disrespect you or, puff up or whatever. But when he spoke to them individually and he didn't need me there, I loved him more because I saw how he cared for our daughters. So if you could just talk about why that's so important.
The one thing I would suggest, or at least the one thing I did, was patience.
Yeah.
All right. Patience is not just some inactive, lay back and just wait type thing. All right. So I'm going to talk about patience really with 2 more P's. There's patience through problems and then patience through progress. All right. Not exaggerating the progress. So you have to be patient with that as in small steps, but through problems, because there are problems. I didn't know what to do. I'm in the wilderness with stuff. So I, started off all, back asswards, if you will, but the patience, I already made a commitment regardless to succeed with the family. So I know that I chose right, but at the same time, I also know that we already had strong feelings about when parents try to talk crazy to their children about the other parent. Right. The relationship with the children is with the parent. All right, it's not the mother to talk crazy about the father to talk crazy about the mother, whether they're divorced, never been together, some child support issues, whatever it may be. You attempting to poison the child against the other parent. That's just it's nonsensical, and it's it can be at the level of being evil, even. All right, and it doesn't do you any well, because the children are going to grow up and make their own decisions, and if they see you and you get exposed as a fraud, because time is going to promote you or expose you, then they will definitely form their own opinions and will likely be against the person who tries to poison them against their other parent. Again, that's their own personal relationship. So I already knew that I'm committed. We have, similar goals and a vision for my children and family. So that wasn't of the thing, but I had to be patient with the attitude, the shift, the change, the feelings, the emotions, the roller coaster with that, knowing that as long as I'm being who I am and demonstrating that I'm still here and reassuring and so on, that eventually will show her that. Whether she chooses to believe it or not is really kind of up to her, but I didn't have the tools that we now share about how to accelerate that process. All right. But being patient, of course, when it comes to problems. And then, of course, progress. Well, I'll talk about that part in a second.
I think that, well, I already know. One of the things that Coach Nazir did, because I was actively not texting, not calling. He called me, I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna pick the phone up. He texts me, I'm gonna text him back. But I was actively not seeking his aid because I'm like, I got to do this by myself. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know his life anymore. I told him that I don't know your life anymore. And he was like, you do know, you know it to a certain degree, but I didn't. I was new to this. He was new to this. And I thought he was so educated in polygyny that I was like, he knows what's going on across the board. I didn't. I felt like the one that had the learning disadvantage. So one of the things he did, I'll never forget it. He came through the kitchen and I was by the back door letting him out. He could let himself out. He don't need help from me. He knew how to get out of his own house. But something he said that stuck with me for the past almost 14 years now. He said, well, it's been 14 years. He said, I'm still available to you all. And I wasn't expecting him to say that, although in the back of my mind, I'm like, look, if we need him, he here, he always been here. And that was powerful. So when men make a commitment and speak it versus us going, I wonder if he's still committed to this family. It gave me some sense of security and reassurance because he said it and it was not provoked by me verbally, but he knew I wasn't calling as much and I wasn't texting. And I'm like, let him live his life. Let him do his thing, and I'll be here with kids, until, in my mind, I'm thinking until. But that's probably one of the most powerful statements he made in the past 28 years of our marriage was, I'm still available to you all. So he's saying, call on me. So that commitment is important.
Right. Again, that's part of that patience through progress, because for some reason, women think that they are like single moms now or something like that, or they are not, or their husband's not available 24 hours a day or something like that. To me, that's weird. All right. Because I'm a husband 100% of the time to my wives. I'm a father 100% of the time to all my children. All right. So you have access to me no matter what. So sometimes you get women that, well, she calling my night, she do this, she does that, all that stuff. First, as a man, you need to be setting rules and regulations and
you gotta have some
like
boundaries,
that. However,
period.
You as the man need to be the one doing that. I haven't had anybody regulate my phone time whatsoever since I used to live with my mama as a teenager. We had phones on the wall.
I wish I would.
Okay, so you can speak to and text to whoever you want to as a man, or should be able to.
You grown.
All right, but at the same time, when somebody's being intrusive or something's not important or they're just being out of order. All right, so check that if need be. However, at the same time, it shouldn't be, well, I'm with her these 24 hours, so don't contact me either.
Yeah, that's your family.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You are a grown man. It's supposed to be the leader of the family. So these little things is just patience through progress. So seeing, okay, now, more warm and open up to different conversations or speaking of different things, because now she's seeing how to demonstrate stuff. She is not like, well, here's my checklist. Well, you did 13, so now we're on level 14. Okay, so we can open up this or unlock this thing.
Right.
Don't happen like that. But it's being patient, knowing you have this vision, you're moving forward, you're going in this direction. So those are that's the main thing to understand. Patience is not just sitting back again and waiting, like hurry up and wait. That's not it. Right. You're doing actions, you're moving forward with hope, you're progressing, you're putting up your level best. Yeah. That and knowing the direction that you're going, that's part of that patience. Yeah. That's what I did more than anything before really getting into the nitty gritty of knowing how to do it and step up my leadership, which caused things to accelerate.
I think speaking to Coach Nazir was saying, it's weird when women think of that. We start to become a little delusional that, see, what I thought was missing Never was. It was always there. But because I was so upset, hurt, and angry and sad, that it's a delusion, and you think, okay, this not here anymore. But because time is important, and the sharing of time is paramount to this being successful, this being polygyny, women tend to say, well, I don't have time anymore because there's another woman. No, you might think that, but is that the reality? So it's very important to understand that the things you think are missing because of polygyny, he was always there. So for me to go, he don't here no more, that was something that I had to look inside myself and say, okay, you deal with your abandonment issues, because now you think this is an abandonment issue. And my grandmother, my late grandmother told me, she said, he coming back tomorrow. I remember her yelling it in the phone. She was like, God, he coming back tomorrow. Like, girl, why would you think you abandoned and he coming back? She knew the schedule. She was understanding of the schedule, and she wasn't Muslim. So that's important. I like that you said it, and he said it to my grandmother in a private conversation. She said, well, he said he ain't going nowhere. I said, well, that's great. How do we do this other stuff then? How do I deal with this other stuff? So alhamdulillah, patience. And just really quickly, patience is important, because I think as wives, our husbands have to be patient with us, and we have to be patient with them and understand that they don't have it all figured out, ladies. They don't have it all figured out. So you're not going to get this overnight success when somebody's still learning what to do, and it's something they've never done before.
Yeah, for real, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's making sure you're committed, and that you are working on yourself. You're doing that growth work. You're not just waiting around, hoping and wishing and all that kind of stuff, but you're moving forward. So you're tying your camel and trusting in Allah. So that's all I have to really give as some gems. Prayerfully got some good stuff out of it, because reflecting on it, patience is very, very important, especially to deal with the different dynamics of polygyny. That's one of the reasons we created the Polygamy Masterclass program, to help people dive deeper into that. And also the book. So if you don't have some resources, no excuses. Excuses are nothing but poor reasons to be useless anyway. They're not serving you. So if you made it this far in the video, I want you to comment below. Respect the process. Put respect the process in the comments below. Let us know you watched the entire video. Feel free to share it, because of course sharing
is caring.
Indeed. So again, put respect the process. We appreciate you. And if you don't have the resource but you want some, outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. That's where we at. With that being said, remember, wish changes nothing, but a decision changes everything. So with GLC, we will say,
make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly,
and connecting on a higher level
every single day.
Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.
Peace.